It's Jay,
It's B,
and
and
this
it's
is
a
the
JB
JB
podcast.
podcast.
And today we did it again, Juan. We did it again.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I thought
today
so.
we brought with Dylan a very special guest. Introduce yourself, Dylan.
Hey, my name Dylan. I'm still in high school, 18. Yeah. My name is Yo Baby Daddy because I'm a dad. You feel me?
he's
Yeah.
not capping.
Yeah. I'm
Yep,
not. I'm not
fatherhood. He's new to job. Yeah.
fatherhood early,
So
man.
hey, but embrace it.
That's what I'm
You're
saying.
there. If in your life, think about now.
What I'm
You're
saying,
doing
man.
pretty
Present moment.
good though. I know, man. I know you got some things going on.
Yo, he cutting out.
Oh, we having some technical difficulties right now with B-Rad.
I
Yeah,
hear Juan.
yeah. But oh, let hey, the show must go on. You know what I'm saying? So, like, give us a little spew about you, then.
Well,
Like, what you been up to lately, man?
Learning politics theory.
Theory, all right. I fuck with it. I fuck with it.
Trying to stay in tune with my spirit. Trying to get
Now,
through the times and being in a pretty Republican state. You feel me?
no, I feel
A lot
that,
of
man.
alt right people, but it's cool.
Man, you just gotta keep it pushing sometimes, bro. I feel that though.
Yeah.
Nah, I feel that, man. I mean, what would you say? Like, who did you want as president this president election?
Honestly, so on the both side, I'm a leftist, so it's
Yeah,
basically I hate Joe Biden because he's a liberal or basically a neoliberal, and that's what the current state of America is. But I'd hated Trump more. It's like It's like choosing the worst of whatever the hell
the
that
worst of two evils.
worst of two evils. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like choosing the worst of two evils. Like Joe Biden, he did some good
hello.
things when he first came.
Oh,
Uh,
we got Brad. Oh, Bradley, are you back?
Bradley back.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back.
Okay, no, but carry on what you're saying, Dylan. We got Brad. We got B-Rad back in the building. All right.
So Joe Biden, he did some good things with the pipeline. In my opinion, it's all over around good. But he did bomb Syria, a bunch of militias, and I didn't agree with that because he did say state or how we're gonna be pulling out of the Middle East, but we ain't do that. It's like
Nah, man. But out of the Democratic candidates this year, who was your favorite?
Bernie Sanders.
Oh man, gotta love Bernie, man.
Bernie, yeah,
I
I
Gotta
did.
love
love
Bernie.
Bernie.
Bernie,
Gotta love Bernie, bro.
always, man.
Gotta love Bernie, bro.
A big Bernie fan. Yeah, bro, he went viral on that fucking meme.
When him
I know
sitting,
y'all saw the meme.
bro. There was
Hell
one.
yeah.
Yeah,
There was one we was at the Knicks game, bro. That shit had me dying.
yeah, bro, they put him everywhere. Bernie went all over the map. But yeah, no.
But
So are you happy with? So I'm assuming thing, but did you want Biden to win over Trump?
Yes, I
Yeah,
voted for
okay,
Biden.
of course.
I'm cool. I'm cool with saying that. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I voted for Biden too.
yo, me personally, I didn't vote
'cause
because I forgot to.
you a moderate.
No, I'm not even a
Hey,
moderate.
hey, no cap on the podcast.
No
No
cat.
cap
Hey,
on the
hey, like
podcast,
me and
man.
B Rad said in the last episode, there's no cap in this podcast, man.
No
Never,
cap on the
never.
podcast, Dylan.
No kizzy. But no,
Let's
I'm
go.
actually glad you're on today, Dylan. You
Hell
because
yeah.
you are very
I appreciate it, man.
conversational. Like you, it's easy to talk to you. You're very knowledgeable about a lot of stuff.
I
So
appreciate it, man.
I
You as
think
well.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be a good cast, man.
I hope
yes,
so.
sir.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't
Yes,
even care
sir.
how long it's gonna go. Gotta wake up pretty early, but it's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, Bradley too. Bradley got way early
me
too.
too, man.
But
Got that early
hey,
shift. Early
Yeah.
shift tomorrow. You know how it is. You know the vibes.
Hey Juan, so I got a question for you, my
Side
man.
oh,
job,
ask
man.
it,
Side
man.
job.
Ask it.
So would you say you would reside more as a moderate? Because I know you were stating earlier how you don't really pick sides.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't call myself a moderate. I really, if
A
I really,
centrist?
I don't honestly. I don't know. Socially, I'm very liberal. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I follow a lot of socially liberal ideologies, when it comes to abortion, marijuana, shit like that. A lot of it, like BLM, all that. But when it comes to like economically, I'm like all over the place. Like honestly, I feel like anything could possibly work. But this is the thing. I feel like anything too much, any too much of anything is like bad. Like I don't feel like I don't feel like our system right now is very like well oiled, as someone would say. Like it's not a really good system. But I feel like if we can if we can put a lot of things from like different like different type of governments and shit, like communism, socialism, capitalism, just different things. Like I'm not really into capitalism as much as I am into the socialism and stuff, but I feel like capitalism does offer some good values, but it also doesn't. Like
Can you state
it's
those values?
like what I would say is like I feel like capitalism brings a lot of, I won't call it freedom, but just a lot of free will, because like you can choose, like you can choose what you want to do. And I feel like socialism and communism really work if they're done properly. But you have countries like Cuba and like Venezuela, who I wouldn't really call them socialism, but a socialist.
No,
I
they're
know,
not
but that's what.
totalitarianism, man.
Yeah, yeah. That's what people see in the media. That's what they see as socialist.
Right.
But I mean, I feel like if done properly, socialism done could be perfect. And same thing with communism. I just like the aspect of capitalism where you really just like start out for nothing. I would call myself a grinder. I like from starting off with a blank canvas, doing whatever, and just see where I can take it. And I like that about capitalism. Like I can get a product or a service, and I can build that shit up.
So you like
But
the economic freedom?
yeah, the economic, yeah, especially because I mean, you can see in
Yes.
like you can see in Cuba where people like if you've seen any videos of Cuba, there's lines of people waiting to get gas. There's the same shit in the fucking grocery stores, like fucking bread and soup, and then it's just everybody's got to go there on one day of the almost like one day of the week, just line and just like scavenge for food, pretty much. And I mean, that's I see as a very big negative. But at the same time, I really don't see that as like true socialism.
It's not. I
Yeah.
disagree. It is too. Um, so what America really has in like a globalized, developed nation, we're the most neoliberal country like of the entire developed nations of the 33 actually. So of the 32 other developed nations, they have social democracies really where it's like social backdraws, like socialized healthcare, education, etc. And America has none of that. We only have welfare and social security. Like I feel like we should be more striving towards a more socialist state, like or even communism. Really, that's like what we should be striving for, in my opinion.
What would you like to see? Like, what would you like to see changed? What are you, when you say you want us to drive towards it, like, what steps do we have to take? Does the government, not us, the government have to take to, what would you like to see done?
More taxes,
What do you think should be done?
more taxes,
Eh, that kind of hurt.
especially on
More
the
taxes.
especially on the 1/10% of the American
Okay,
population.
I can agree
That's
with that.
coming strong. Yeah.
No, but this is one thing I do understand. A lot of people don't understand why a lot of rich people can get away from paying no taxes, because a lot of their taxes are doing through their businesses, and
Right.
and that's the thing. I mean, this is crazy. A lot of people don't understand this, but the business, like if you have a business, the amount of like tax deductions you can get through just owning a business is crazy, bro. Like
Exactly. Fifty
it,
percent of all of the tax benefits go to the 1% of the entire population, the ultra wealthy.
yeah, but I mean, yeah, I do agree with that. But like, if you see like what you could do with a business, like and how many tax write-offs you can get and stuff like that, and even just trading, even owning stocks or owning any asset as a business, like even taking that out and like let's say you want to claim it and get your what's it called, claim your pretty much like get your money from it and not putting it back to another asset. Your tax, the amount you get taxed with that is a lot less than you being a person.
Right.
Yeah, so like that's one thing I would like to see almost change. Like people really don't understand like the three different types of income: passive income, portfolio income, and then
Active.
active income. Yeah, and
Yeah.
when people could truly understand how they could do that, I I feel like a lot of people would be better well off like financially.
Right. Yeah, I agree. So the main reason I would want to see more taxes is in the 2020 year of the 4 quarters, the tenth of 1%, or really just the 1%, paid a lower overall tax rate than the bottom 50% of the entire population. In like 74 years, that's like we've had the lowest economical like spending power, like trillions of dollars under
And
compared to previous.
yeah, I would. I agree with you, Dylan. I would love to see a lot of this wealth being changed, like just seeing money into different people, and that's
Redistribute.
also yeah redistribution. Like
Yeah,
but
that
also I
would
would
be a
love to
blessing.
see. I would love to see taxes. I would love to see where my taxes go. Also, and I wish you could choose. Like imagine this. Imagine a system where you could choose where you want your taxes to go.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. J. Cole fucking mentioned that in a song.
like
Like,
imagine.
and that's a great idea. Like, if you could pay to, like, I mean, I know it's more complicated than what it sounds like, but they should make something like that because that would be really cool. Like, if you could pick, like, different places you want your money to go, because honestly, who really knows where the money goes to taxes? They tell us where it goes, but do we really know? I don't
Nine
think
hundred
so.
and $96 billion went to our defense.
Yeah, to our military. But that's another thing. I just it's just crazy to me because I feel like people would love to pay more taxes if they knew where it was going. Like, bro, because I feel like when people
Yeah.
think they're paying taxes, they just feel
I
like
don't think people would love to pay them, but I think people would be more
open to
understanding
and
and
understanding to like,
open to it. I don't think anybody would love to pay anything.
oh yeah, that's
They
facts.
tax the fuck out of me up here, man.
Hey, thanks for you guys. Hey, I
I'm
almost
living in
capped
Cali.
there.
It's bad.
I almost got a little cap there, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, no, no. But your point was intention. Like your point was good meaning, and I'm a no cap on the podcast. I don't know too much about uh well I know a little bit about what you guys are talking about, but not a lot about a lot. So I'm just trying to put my 2 cents in here and there. But I'm really fascinated by it, and I'm actually going to learn some things from this podcast. So
Man, politics.
if you guys don't see me talking, it's because I don't want to sound dumb and I don't want to spread any cap on the podcast.
Because we
But
don't
I
cap.
Hey
do want
man,
to
you
chip
gotta you
in
gotta be
on
yourself,
things.
man.
Yeah, but there's a difference between being myself and being unknowledgeable. I'm not going to chip in on something I'm unknowledgeable about, but I'm ready to learn. But like the things that like Juan was saying about the taxes and how you should be able to pick where they go, I believed in that for a long time since J. Cole dropped that a verse in that song, and it really made sense. And to me, music is what I used to like learn a lot of things too, more than just research and education. So I do know a little bit about that. But continue with what you guys were saying.
I think one of the most flawed things with the the, the choice of where your tax dollars go to is the so if you want socialized healthcare, how are you going to do that if you don't have the like say socialized healthcare for a 4 years or socialized healthcare for an annual year is going to be around $79 billion. How are you going to get that money if nobody wants to, or say a 10% of the population
Oh,
wanted to invest into that?
Oh, I see what you mean, but
yeah, I see what you're saying. Like,
I feel like they would put caps on things. Like let's say almost like oh wait, we already have enough money into here, but you have to choose either between these five things to redistribute your tax money into. So there would be a cap limit on whatever. So let's say we already have
How
a
about this?
billion
Do you
dollars
guys
into.
think it should be? I'm sorry to cut you off, but
No, you good.
because now that I'm thinking about it more, do you think it should be mandatory, or do you still think like the people who don't want to like take the time to pick where the money goes, you think they should stay how it is for them, but there should be an option to place where your money goes? Right, so there's like a two system type of thing because I think I see a flaw in the everybody picking where the money goes because uh that's a lot of people, and it might get confusing when unless they make it like very simple on doing your taxes and just you pick the companies or whatever. But do you think there should be like a choice between it, like some people can choose to see where the money goes, and people who don't really care or don't really want to do the extra stuff and then just pay the taxes? Do you think they should be able to just pay them how they paying them now?
Yeah, I definitely do feel that. Like, you can choose wherever you want to see it go, or you just want to let the government do whatever. But
Yeah,
what I was trying to say is like, just almost like, let's say we're only putting a couple $1 billion into, I don't know, the healthcare system or the academic system. There would be a cap out limit whenever it's like, oh, all this money has already been put into this. Now we have to now you only can choose between these different type of or different things to put your tax money into.
for the
And
annual year.
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. So no matter what, I mean, let's say you're the last person to do your taxes, you're probably only going to be able to put your money into the only thing that's not filled up yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So kind
mean,
of like
so
that.
it's also a little bit different because for socialized education, really, it's also can be over a 2 to 4 year period. So if you're going to pay for that, that's going to be 2 to 3 to 4 times more the amount you would pay for in an annual year. Would you rather pay for a 4 year tuition, like 3 year tuition, 2 year tuition, just 1 year tuition? What would you do throughout that if you
Uh,
were to just pay for a just one annual year? Would you pay for a 4 year period, 3 year, 2 year?
I feel like it would have to be a 1 year period, but almost like you would have to do it for the year before, or no, the year after. Like you would have to do it almost as you're putting this money in, but you're not gonna see differences until the next year. Because I
Okay.
don't feel like you could do it like
yeah,
I can't give you
yeah.
money now and you already do something. That's not I feel like the only way it will work. I mean, maybe 2 years
The
will work.
businesses need time to put that money to whatever you paying for the taxes, like whatever you choose. They need time to spend it or use that money to see change. Even though they have the money, they could. It's not going to benefit them if they don't make any changes besides them just having more money. Is
But
that kind of what you're saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But another
Okay,
question,
good.
Dylan.
I'm just making sure I'm following along.
Yeah, another question, Dylan. What's your opinion on our academic system?
I think it has a lot of capitalist propaganda within it. I think that it should be more, I guess, apolitical to a standpoint of showing true history and what a totalitarianism is, or even theory between, uh, like say, even the CIA has interfered in different socialist countries, like even Iran. They overthrew their socialist, not dictator, their socialist leader who wanted to reside more with the Soviet Union, the communists, which really stayed capitalist. And the USA didn't like that, so they overthrew him and put it in a dictatorial leader that resided more with the USA.
Yeah.
I just think there should be more influence into true history per se. I know there is a lot of hindering between what capitalist propaganda can be as well. So one thing I think should be taught is the CIA interference. It's been like over 50 times that CIA has interfered in different countries with like bombings, sabotages, regime changes, or putting sanctions around the country to cripple their economy. And I just think there should be more of a truer history, I guess. I don't know how you'd
Yeah.
really go about
No,
that, but
I understand a lot because
Yeah,
what you're saying, a lot of think about it. Who makes our textbooks? Like just asking yourself that question, you could know like it's gonna be towards one side always. And
Right.
not even just that, but if you truly research a lot of the things we find in our like school textbooks, a lot of it's not right, and a lot of it's wrong actually. It's pretty crazy. Like you could just research it or Google like things wrong with U.S. schools history textbooks, and
I mean,
just just that alone.
even in school, or even really just, I think it's only just America alone, we stand up and have a pledge. Like, is that not in of itself like indoctrination, or like,
Exactly.
yeah, like we have such a patronized type of nation that can lead to a more nationalized type of health of our population per se. Um, and I don't think anybody really likes nationalism.
No,
At least me, me personally, I don't.
yeah, like a lot of people. All right, not to throw John F. Kennedy off like off the bus or whatever the fuck people say. But like literally one of his biggest quotes, like ask yourself what you could do for your country, or not what the country could do for you, what you could do for the country. Just shit like that. Just little shit like that. I don't know. I hate that stuff, man. Like I feel like people have a very like just always it's like America this, America that, like America's the best, America's this, and like and if you don't agree with America, get out of America. With that type
Yeah,
of like mental or like that type of like perspective on things, you're never gonna improve.
right.
It's like saying it's like, oh, I'm a Division 2 basketball player, but oh, I'm fine where I'm at. Like I can't improve. Like why are you trying to criticize me? It's like you need criticism to grow. Anything needs a little bit of guidance to grow, and I
That's a
hate
good
that.
analogy.
Yeah, I hate
Yeah,
when people just see like
makes a lot of sense.
I hate when people just can't hear somebody like just give some criticism to our country, and then automatically
Right.
their first ideal is like, oh, leave the country. If you don't like it, just go.
Yeah,
Like,
That
bro, like
argument
what?
goes for even
pretty much.
even
That's
even
how it's
immigrants
been
as well.
for at least 4 years, man. I
Like,
mean, that was the fucking USA motto. I feel like.
if you don't
You
like
don't
us,
like it, get the fuck out. Get out of here. Like
Yeah, like
no,
what
like
did immigrants from Mexico want? Like they did not like their country run by cartels, so they moved. So like what else are you gonna do about that?
exactly.
Like it's the same concept.
Like, that's the thing, man. I feel like people if they just sat back and have a different perspective on things and would listen to people. Like this is one thing I preach, man. Always be open to change your mind on anything. It don't matter what it is. Always be open to have a change in your views on things or anything, man. Because when you have that mental, like when you're having a conversation with someone and all you're thinking about is your points and like what you're gonna say, and you're not truly hearing them out, or truly not hearing their ideals, or not even being opening to change what you're thinking about, you're not really talking to them, bro. You are just babbling back about fucking statements that no one cares about.
Yeah, like you're unable to change your own perspective,
Yeah,
especially if it goes against your own persona or your character or your different situations with even family.
yeah, like man, like I don't agree with a lot of things people do or a lot of things people believe in, but I'm always open to hear out what they got to say, man. Because that's one thing you can give somebody. Just
I
give them
think
the
it's
respect.
fascinating hearing out people, even if you don't like believe in it.
Yeah,
Some of the crazy shit that like I don't believe in, if you fucking like listen to like people who actually know about that shit, because if you just go off social media and like you're not going to get the real information. Like there could be good behind something that is portrayed as bad, but the media will only want you to see the bad. Oh, who said this? When they're not showing the real, like the true story. Like they might be showing half the story, but they leading out major details, and that's why I kind of stopped believing everything I look at, to be honest, because like unless you know it from like I listen to podcasts at work, and that's how I've been expanding my mind because there's people that go against the system, not like the government system, but they speak their mind about something that most of the population believes in, they speak about the flaws in it. And like honestly, learning about the flaws and like the hidden stuff that people don't tell you on mainstream media is like crazy mind blowing, bro. Like it's
Yeah.
almost like mainstream media brainwashes some people.
Oh
And
my
then
God,
when you
that's
hear the
facts.
flaws, like when you hear the flaws like portrayed out, it's like holy shit. Everything just like I don't know if you know, you know, but it just clicks.
If you know, you
Like you're
know.
like, oh shit. Like me and Juan were just talking about. I was listening to a podcast and they had some guy about on ESPN on there who left ESPN to do his own thing because NBA refs were uh, selling games on purpose. And he goes into a lot more detail that I'm not going to go into. But like when he was just from him saying what he said on the podcast and then me bringing that up to Juan instantly was like, he caught on, he like, bro, that makes so much sense. And it really does. If you, that's just an analogy, but it's like, it just clicks if you like learning the flaws help you learn more about life. I feel like
Definitely.
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
it help you the mode to life when you learn different things that not different things, but when you learn flaws in the thing that you've been forced to believe. You technically been forced to believe it because if you learning about it in school and you go to school and everybody in that school are learning about the same thing, of course that's what people are going to believe because it's
And
not like you go to a history class and you learn about something and then some guy in the next class tells you everything you learned in that class was wrong. Like no, you learn more brainwash stuff.
yeah.
So that's why it's kind of like what can you believe, you know?
I mean, even for the same analogy, it goes for like news-based media. So, in a comparison between Fox News and, like, say, CNN, CNN is registered as an actual news media source, so they have regulations from the government to put pretty reliable information. I do agree that it is hindered to more of a left ideology, I guess, or left ideology, or Democrats really. But Fox News is labeled as under a business, like it's not an actual like news source. It doesn't have to put it doesn't have any liability to put out truer information.
I
Well,
Like
mean,
you could kind of
I'm pretty
tell
sure
if
reading
you
an
listen to
article
Fox
is
News.
that Trump bought out Fox News.
yeah. I mean,
I
like,
believe it because
even
if you listen to Fox News, that shit's just comedy. I'm not gonna lie. That
I
shit
agree.
is nothing but comedy, dude. Even you don't even have to really know anything about politics to know like what they're saying is so biased. Like
Definitely.
that's how crazy bad it is on Fox News. Like almost none of the stuff they say is factual, especially now since Joe Biden fucking got elected. You turn on Fox News, you ain't hearing nothing but bullshit. You know, I'm telling you that.
I mean, but
You
yeah,
ain't hearing shit about bullshit.
but yeah.
I
I mean,
remember they were talking about the climate or the Green New Deal when
Oh
the
my
Green New Deal
god.
wasn't even implemented yet. It's still an idea.
It's like, bro, how can people vote on climate change? How the
Yeah.
fuck it's going to happen? Like, what the fuck? It's
Yo,
not like, hey, let's vote to not make it happen. And then what if it happens? Well, we voted no. We voted no. It wasn't supposed to happen. You
that's
dumb
facts.
fuck. It's climate change.
Exactly, man.
It's
Especially
like,
like
fucking, it's the climate. You can't stop the climate. That's like saying, I don't want it to rain today. Fucking, I said no rain today. Makes no
Yeah.
sense, man.
No, but
yeah.
one thing that a lot of people don't know is if you look at your family favorite news sources, look who owned those news sources. It's almost the same like four corporations that own all those news sources. So just just be open, just be willing to understand that maybe what you're hearing from your favorite news source isn't factual, or just always do your own research, man. If you're not sure about something or something seems a little fishy, do your own research.
I think that also goes along for studies as well, because you also want to know whoever
Yeah.
paid for the study, whether it's a person with on like a Democratic side or a Republican side. It can be hindered more towards that bias.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you
if you
think we ever gonna see a balance in the system in our lifetime? Like a true balance of like everybody's happy.
like not
I
this
think.
like not
Go ahead.
this. Oh yeah, you could go right, but what I was gonna say is like not this like fight we have with like Democrats versus Republicans. It's not this fight, it's like
Yeah.
black and white. Like not this like almost this race war that's going on, almost this fucking like I hate. All right, I don't agree with a lot of what Republicans have to say, and I don't agree with what some things Democrats have to say either. But I feel like people need to almost step back from politics sometimes and just really see like we're all just human beings, man. And people come up off different things too. Like someone's someone's environment dictates what they believe in, bro. Like think about it. If someone's born into a primary Republican household and lives in like the rural South, that's probably what they're gonna end up believing in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
I
like,
agree.
Yeah.
so
It's like yeah,
always
it's
have that
fact.
perspective on people. Like just step back and say, this man, he's a human being, or he or she is a human being, and what they grew up on and whatever they were exposed to as younger adults and younger people is probably what they're gonna believe in. So just realize, always good thing to do is always agree to disagree sometimes.
Definitely.
But carry on what you're saying, Dylan.
So I forgot what I was gonna say actually. Um, yeah, I totally slipped my mind. I
Nah,
forgot.
you good, bro. My bad about that.
You good?
But fuck.
My mom came in and gave me some gluten free cinnamon rolls.
Oh, hey, gluten free, baby. You know
Hey,
the
those
vibe.
sound bomb as shit right now.
Gluten
Hey, y'all
free.
see me sipping on the Gatorade Zero. You see the zero
Hey
right
man.
there.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey. Don't say Gatorade though, bro. We not sponsored. We
Not
not
Oh
yet.
yeah, I
sponsored.
mean
Hey,
it's
we not
Not yet.
sponsored
red
though.
flavored drink.
We not sponsored.
Red flavor. Hey, GG barbecue sauce. If you're listening,
G
we
Hughes,
still
bro.
fuck with y'all.
Yeah, G Hughes. We fuck with y'all, man.
Hey, we still fuck with y'all. Hey,
But
we just had to shout them out once a podcast one.
and they gonna come, bro.
Eventually, I think they might come around, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna see a big box in my mailbox, bro. Bunch of barbecue sauce. I'm gonna be excited. No, but
Yeah.
going on to another topic besides politics, like so like
How
what?
about
Yeah, go on.
well, I was about to say Dylan is very spiritual. And as Juan, you know us about spiritual. So what do you Dylan, because you're the guest, what how spiritual like what do you think of spiritual?
Spirituality.
Like
Spirit-
yeah,
spirituality
spirituality.
spirituality as a whole is mostly following what your spirit says as it would, I guess. More of a standpoint is doing bettering yourself, like generally. Sure there are arguments for like say meditation, like meditation in general, of like what the Hindus do, where they've started, or even psychedelics in general. It's mostly in a state of bettering yourself, like from what you are before. I don't
Yeah,
think there's like necessarily a type of measurement for your uh your level of spirituality or how much you follow spirituality. I think it's more so of how much you better yourself as like a character, your persona to society, etc.
that's facts, though. When you said there was facts, man, I feel like a lot of people, if anybody's into spirituality at all or into it, man, a lot of people get stuck in this like almost this egoic state of like how spiritual am I? And you're just trying to feed your ego and just say, "Oh, I'm spiritual because I do this. I'm spiritual because I'm that."
Yeah, you have to
Spirituality
let
is
it come naturally.
yeah, spirituality is a self practice, man. So only you can dictate how spiritual you are or how much you follow or what you're doing, man. Because a lot of people when they think of meditation and think of stuff like that, they think only the only form of meditation is sitting down, uh, in like a yogic pose, just breathing, focusing your mind. But what I say is you can meditation can be a bunch of things. You can meditate while running, you can meditate while walking, you can meditate while you're at work or school. It's just calming down your mind, focusing on your breath, focusing on one thing or focusing on nothing. It's just to bring you back to a state where you're not so jumbled about all of what's going on in your life and society. Like, oh, my mom told me this. Like, oh, I have to do this at work. Oh, I can't fail this test. It's just calming you back to a point where you're just breathing. You're just living. You're just appreciating life.
One
Yeah,
with yourself.
it's
Yes,
even like even laying in bed is a form of meditation as well.
yes, that's facts. And like, what I see is well, I see not to bring into religion. I know people have a lot of different religions and people believe in a lot of different things, but what I see is I feel like religion and the different religions are all trying to depict the same thing. And I'm not trying to bring anybody down on what they believe in or anything, but I feel like if you truly like dive down into religions, you're trying to find like the reasoning for everything. You're trying to find purpose, and that's what religion gives people: purpose. And like different things like what I follow. I wouldn't call myself a Buddhist, but I follow a lot of Buddhist practices, a lot of Buddhist techniques, and some Hindu techniques also. Um, but that doesn't mean I don't have the respect for a Christian or a Muslim because I see why they believe in that. I can just back to what we were talking about there. I have that perspective, that capability to understand that this person believes in what they believe in for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like they believe in that because that's what they find as truth. And what can I say that's false to somebody? What can I say that's not true?
Well,
All
I mean, you also like you can learn like computational biology, and where you learn different factors of argument, like fallacies, like the laws of thought, etc. Like there's like contradictions to certain arguments as well.
oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Um. Yeah.
I think it's like because how can you if somebody grew up to believe one thing? It's like with school it's different, but like if religion is like if somebody grew up and their parents or whoever made them believe that religion by making them go to church or whatever the religious practice was, how can you tell that person what they believe in is wrong because you believe in something that they believe is wrong? You're
Yeah.
not, it's going to be an instant argument because you guys, both two different people, religious, um, can go at each other so easily because almost everything they been taught to believe in truth is wrong in each of their eyes. You know, it's like they don't believe anything the same, but there's the truth to them, and they think there's only one truth, and that's wrong.
All
I mean,
right.
we really don't really know the truth, to be honest.
I have a question for both of you.
Yes,
Is
Yeah.
any
sir.
Christians in here?
Is there any what?
Any of us Christians in here?
I
Nah.
I guess that would be like my main thing. Yeah,
Really?
I
Okay.
just believe in God.
Right. Yeah, I believe in a higher power as well, but learning that the government has hindered the Bible over 20 times and it's been passed down,
Oh my God. That's oh, it's
like how is that
like how
not
many? And
changed
also
the perspective
people.
of Christianity in any way?
Yeah, and people also don't realize how many times that the Bible's been like changed, like not even purposely, just how many times it's
Yeah,
been what's it called again? When you change a different language to another language to another language to another language to another language, and just over time, and just even I forgot what Bible verse or what chapter it is, but there's
it
even like a
always fascinated with me with the Bible because like what I believe the Bible, and this is what because I'm not knowledgeable. I'm just knowledgeable of what I learned as a kid. The Bible is like the oldest book, right? Supposedly, that's what I've been taught. It's like the oldest book, but to be honest, I don't really think I ever believed in the Bible ever because I was like, it's very hard for me to like wrap my head around like if this is so old, like as old as they say it is, then of course, and now that I know a little bit more about the government, of course it's been tampered with. Of course, I mean it makes total sense because if they say the Bible, I don't even know how old they say it is, but like there's no way, like how there's so many different books, different versions, and supposedly they say the same shit, but you just said they were different. So it's like I don't really like when I say I'm a Christian, it's like I I've been taught to believe in God, but like the practice is like I don't go to church. I don't pray on a regularly basis. You know, I meditate, but I don't pray to God. Like I'm just saying that's what I've been brought up to be, brought up to learn. And
Yeah.
that's why, but I'm open minded about all religions. Like, I don't hate, like, disagree. Uh, uh, like, I don't judge off of people' religion. I oftentimes don't bring it up because I know that what I've been taught is flawed, but I think every religion has its flaws. And a lot of people don't see it, in my opinion. I know the flaws in Christianity. On like it's obvious. Like it's crazy. Like what people can believe. If you like the whole God story is fucking crazy. I mean, it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
If that story was never a story and somebody tried to bring it up now, they would look at that person like he's Kanye or something. Fucking
Is
crazy.
yay.
If that story never
Is
existed
yay.
and somebody said exactly what that story says in today's world, that motherfucker would be locked up in a fucking straight jacket, fucking crazy.
Hey man, I'm
It's
a
like,
big
no, I came back 3 days later. They hung me. I'm back. It'd be like, no, you crazy. Like they would not take any of that shit. But because it's old and so many people believed it, it's like, no, that it's true. It's like because it's in a book, it doesn't mean it's a fact. Like
Right.
the Bible is not a fact. It's a religious book that based on beliefs. They say the Bible is based on what you believe in. Where if you don't believe in the Bible, then that's not the truth to that person.
Right.
It's belief if you believe it is.
but
Like it-
I do believe that the Bible is very like it's almost set in a lot of where like you have to take it as what you would take it because a lot of like if you see how the way the Bible's written is done in almost in a sense where it says something but you almost have to correlate it to something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's written in a very almost as a like as you will take it as you will type of way. And I respect the Bible. I haven't read the full Bible. I read some chapters and
yeah,
stuff,
same.
but I mean, let again, any religious script is gonna be the truth and only the truth for the person who follows that religion, like very aggressively.
rel- yeah,
Yeah,
really religiously. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I don't think it's very godlike to damn people into hell for eternity.
Well, that's what that like.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's like
that's what I'm saying,
that's
bro.
the biggest flaw I
I
think.
was a kid.
It's like if you believe what we are telling you, and if you don't believe what we are telling you, you're going to burn forever.
Yeah.
But hey,
Yo,
if you
facts.
come to us after you fuck up and you say you want to be forgiven we would do a 3 minute prayer, and then you can go back into heaven. But hey, you can fuck up as many times as long as you come back. You know, put the money in the
Oh my
hat we pass around.
bro, that's the thing,
Help the
bro.
church out.
People don't
It's
understand
like,
that. People don't understand how big of a business the Vatican is, and the Catholic Church. Because I was raised Catholic as a youngin, and bro, just even go to church, bro. Just hearing some of the stuff like this is the thing that really took me away from any Christianity is the whole hell part, bro. Like I was young as fuck, still like questions like why do people go to hell? Like I was very confused on that.
you know what took me away from it? It's like everything they say. Like I remember I heard a story when I went to church one time, and they were saying it was about God handed 4 guys a plant, a seed for a plant, and he said whoever grows the biggest, strongest plant, wins. Whatever, like he said something. I heard this story a long time ago, but basically, all 3 of those 4 guys tried to cheat, and they tried to get better seeds. They tried to do other stuff to the plant to make it grow. And one guy did what God says, and his plant didn't grow at all. And that motherfucker won the competition. It's like nothing bad happened in like when I went to church, nothing ever like it was all basically like they gave you the 10 commandments and then they told these ridiculous stories. And there's always one guy who didn't break the 10 commandments and he gets rewarded. But the other guys were doing smart things and they're just, nope, you broke the 10 commandments. Whatever you did does not matter. You're a nobody. And it's like,
Yeah, man. And
those can, it's just, and the 10 commandments is almost, they sound like laws. Like they don't sound like commandments. They sound like it's like thou shall not kill. It's like yeah, I would go to jail. It's not because the God tell me not to kill. It's because I would go to jail. It's not like oh I was going to kill you, but thank God I got my commandments.
yeah,
It's like
and not to throw that
it's
not to
like
th-
no like and thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not use God's name in vain. Doesn't the church use God's name in vain every time they say the word God? Like,
Yeah.
it's
oh
like
man.
they just saying shit that almost that I don't want to connect Christianity to can't even say the fucking word, but I don't want to connect that shit to religious. I mean to the government, but like the fucking commandments remind me a lot of the fucking whites. That's all I'm saying. All right.
Yeah, man. It's like almost like it's some
And it might be a
manipulation going
connection.
on.
Might be a little
Yeah.
Illuminati third eye connection right there. You never know.
Yeah, you pinealing type shit.
Me personally, I think that being a person of color, like even black or Hispanic, native, I think it's a contradiction to be following Christianity. Because how are you going to follow an absolute indoctrination of how Europeans wanted you to follow Christianity?
Yeah,
You feel what I'm saying? Like
yeah, and
if they came here, forced you into slavery, and they killed 90% of the entire population, how are you gonna follow their religion?
oh man, yeah, bro.
Like when they killed
That's
your
kind of
people, man. Like,
facts. Yo, that's kind of facts, bro. Oh my god.
I don't. Yeah.
No, that's big facts.
Yo, like
I know it seems like we're just fucking Christianity right now, bro, but sometimes you just gotta get fucked, bro.
We
Sometimes
are.
sometimes you just gotta get fucked. It's just how it is, bro.
it's just finding the flaws in the
Yeah,
truth. That's
but
it.
no,
It's
this
not, and
fact.
it might not even be the flaws, but it's like the shit that like nobody wants to talk about.
Yeah, man.
Nobody like they don't want to change their opinion of their beliefs on almost facts.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, like
they
even
just
Catholic.
so
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to finish off by saying like, um, you can go ahead. I lost my thought.
I'm sorry about that. I truly am sorry about that. I
No,
was.
I no, I in the ganja plant.
Oh yeah.
It's not. It happens. Okay.
It be like
I
that
was going. I
sometimes.
was going to say, like how is a Catholicism alone, the churches specifically, how are you going to be a religion that costs taxpayers $86 billion? Like,
Man, I guess it'd be like that. Like
it'd
shit
be
like that.
like,
It's going to the gods, man. It's going to the gods.
Bro, like, bro, have you seen this shit? Like, bro,
It's for the gods. It's for the
I'm not gonna cap, man.
man.
When I used to go to church, like almost every Sunday, I would see my mom give the church $20, and I understand sometimes, man. Like, I would like, okay, yeah, I understand, but bro, the amount of money these churches be getting, bro, and just and everything, like, you don't need a fucking temple to worship a god, bro.
yeah.
Like, I really thought, whoa, I'm like, whoa, this church is really big, and bro, I live in Utah, bro, and if y'all know anything about the Mormon religion, bro, if you look at these temples in Salt Lake, man, it shit looks fucking crazy. They literally got temples, and not
What?
even low. You're
There's
supposed to
some.
get. Hey, wait. Let me. I gotta say this, bro. There's some crazy shit
No,
about
yeah.
Mormons.
Go
Let
ahead.
me
Go
not.
ahead.
Hey, let me not fuck the Mormons too hard right now. But you're supposed to give 10% of your income to the Mormon church. I don't, why do they need your money? I don't know.
That's crazy.
Hey, man. It's for the practices, all right.
Yeah, let me just build another fucking temple.
No, but I drive around this city I'm in, and this like fucking gated like in the middle of like nothing. It'll be like some regular mid-level, like mid-life houses. And then you just look at the next building, it's a fucking gated fucking big ass temple. I'm like, what the fuck is it? It sound like Disneyland's over there. That should be over there and that shit. It's like, who the fuck comes here? I never see nobody there, but it's fucking huge for no reason. And it's in like the middle of a neighborhood. Like it's not in like its own location. It's just house, 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 big ass temple, fucking outrageous, fucking like place of building, house, house, house. It's like, who put that there? Like, it's not somebody's house.
But no, hey, this is one thing. I want to hear your opinion on this, Dylan. What is your opinion on homelessness?
Homelessness.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Oh
So
man.
one argument with that, we have in America 1.3 million vacant homes and 500,000 homeless people.
We need to. I'm glad you brought this up, Juan. Homeless is something I'm strongly about, and somebody needs to uh change. They need to do something because even like YouTubers, I feel like YouTubers cap a lot about when they go to save a homeless person. They try to get a homeless person back on their feet. But if you pay attention to the trends, they do it with money. The people don't need money. The people, if you're broke and you get a good job and you get fucking a lot of money and
You
you've
don't
been
you
broke
don't
your
get
whole life,
broke,
you're
bro.
not going to use that money smartly.
Nah, bro,
It's
you're not
not
gonna
going to
invest
happen.
this. Hey, this is what I
You're
said.
not
I think.
going to use that money productively.
Let me just bring this point in real quick. Being broke is mostly a mindset. I truly, I 100% agree with this. It's mostly a mindset, bro, and and it's almost like a way of thinking of things. Cause like I feel like a broke person thinks that all they need is materialistic things, alcohol, drugs, and just like little things to give them this lust. I feel like people are addicted to lustful things. You know what I mean? Yeah, like I feel like this is what schools need to teach. They need to teach you how to invest. They need to teach you how to plan for the future, how to start your 401ks, your Roth IRAs, all this shit. Just because if someone doesn't know that and they're just holding this money in the bank, your money depreciates in value every year you hold it in the bank. Like when people think they're saving money, you're losing your money. You have to put it into something that's gonna give you money. Make your money work for you.
So I have a question for you, Juan.
Yeah.
You stated that you think homelessness is a state of mind. How
Oh
do you
well.
feel
Oh yeah,
about
kind of.
how do you feel about people that have disabilities?
Well, this is the thing. I feel like no one should be homeless. I feel like the government should offer free housing. And I know this sounds crazy to a lot of people. I feel like no person should not have a house. Okay, like just like how like I feel like that's an almost a right. I think having a household somewhere to live in. I think that's a
Shelter.
necessity. A shelter, yes, proper term right there. I think having a shelter is a necessity. So I feel like
Exactly.
just almost like if anybody has lived in the projects or in the ghetto or anything like that, bruh, they know that there should be a system where no matter what point and how much money you have, you could live. Like this.
Yes.
I feel like, all right, this is what school teaches. School teaches you almost in a sense. There's a 0 from 100%, right? You can get a 0, you can fuck up and do everything wrong and be at 0, or you can do everything correctly and be at 100. I feel like we should shift to a point where it's almost like a 50 to 100. I feel like every person should start off with food, water, clothing, and a shelter.
Not commodified.
Yeah, just start off like that, and then, well, I mean, start off like that and then progress, because I feel like that's what
How do
all
you
people need.
think?
Because if you're worrying about where
How
you're
do
gonna
you
sleep,
think?
yeah,
How do you think somebody could right now? And I'm not talking about like a YouTuber or somebody famous. I mean the government. How do you think the government? Okay, because I live in California. I see a ton of homeless people.
yeah,
There's an OD amount of homeless people
oh yeah,
in
especially because of
California.
the coronavirus
Like
shit.
it's crazy bad. And I try to give, I try to shop at local vendors a lot to buy like flowers, and I tried to give, like, if I have any change like quotas or something from getting a drink from the gas station, I would give it to the guy who is sitting out there. But what do you think somebody in the government, like a high person in power, could do to help homelessness, and just just start out not worldwide, but just start out in a city in California?
Four
Because
words.
honestly, I
That's
feel
all I
like
need.
you could go to any city in California and find an OD amount.
Oh
So
man,
just like, what can that person do to help one city? And I'm not talking about a mayor. I mean like a government person,
like
like somebody in,
yeah,
like,
and
yeah. Go
a
ahead.
high. This is what I'm saying first. 4 words: universal income and universal housing. I feel like those are two major things we need right now. I feel like, and people think it's crazy, right? But and I think it can affect the economic system, but we're in a bubble right now, anyways, man. So I feel like just like how we have, like in Alaska, we had the dividends, and just like how in we just had the coronavirus bill, relief bill. We got I think we got 1,200 the first one and 600 on the next one. Just stuff like that to just,
The
I
bill
mean,
should be passed for another 14.
yeah, anything like that. Just some sort of income where even if someone's not doing something, they can still live. Like I feel like if you're not doing anything in your life, and I hate when people think, "Oh, stop being a lazy fuck and get out your feet." I feel like people need to stop thinking that you have to do something to live properly, like just to live. Like if you don't want to do
So
shit
do
in your
you
life,
think, like, when you say universal income, do you mean like uh, a monthly check
yes,
that
it can be,
everybody in the world gets?
or yeah, anybody in the world, but I'm talking about like our country, but yeah, like something, even
Like,
something,
I mean America, my bad, not world, like
yeah.
country, like America,
Does
my bad, my bad.
so with UBI, does the value of the dollar go down?
Oh, of course it will go down, but this is the thing. I feel like I feel like how we inflate it now and how our system works and the bubble we're in right now. I feel like in some sort of way it can properly work if we done correctly. Because this is the thing: if you get that money and you redistribute it, if you spend the money, if you put it back into the economy, and especially where we're at now, where no one's spending, that's the problem with that's kind of the problem with capitalism. You need to spend. You need to buy dumb shit. You need to buy services. You need to buy um, like goods and stuff so it can work. Like, because if no one's buying fucking anything, like how it is right now, like when coronavirus started, no one was trying to buy shit. Everybody's saving their money because no one knows how long it's gonna take for them to work. So if
Besides the
you,
ultra,
oh yeah, yeah, that's right. But just like,
They're buying.
yeah, if you give someone money, with the intent for them to spend it, or even just spend it on their fuck, or put it like almost like a necessity where it can only be used on food. It can only be used on like rent and shit like that, where it can only be used on like three things, where it's almost like a locked currency, where it's only can be used for these certain things. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like something where you could get my $1,000 this month and I'm gonna fucking buy Gucci and I'm gonna buy some fucking like a Louis bag, not some dumb shit like that. Just something
Yeah,
where you can live. Because I hate when people don't think that living. I feel like living should be a right, and living healthy and living fucking good. And what I mean by good is with a house, with a roof over your head, and some good nutritious food, man.
right. Like not commodification of the different like 20 plus types of different water bottles. Like that's basic to human life is water, and you're
Exactly.
gonna capitalism
Yeah.
commodified.
Yeah.
And also
Yeah, that shit's
what
fucking crazy.
one type of solution to homelessness is also a profit motive in hospitals. Hospitals naturally, or they basically have almost a crony capitalist state. They they have a profit motive that like is not for actual healthcare for all. It's more you pay for a higher premium, you get good healthcare. It's like I think we should have socialized healthcare because if somebody say uh breaks a leg, you want to go there and get it fixed, or even if you call an ambulance, that's going to cost you like $10,000 alone. When you go there and get your leg fixed, it's going to cost you much more as well, and that's just going to put people in debt just to survive.
That shit's crazy to me, man. You shouldn't pay.
Yeah.
You shouldn't pay money just to be able to live, or just even with shit when it comes to like treatments people need. Like some people need these treatments to live better, or even just to actually live. People shouldn't be paying for this. This should be
Right.
given. Like
Like
Yeah.
you carry on, Dylan.
so like even socialized healthcare is not a radically left thing.
It's not.
It's like such kind of a right center thing. It's like democracy type as well. Like
Yeah,
you know of the Nordic model, right?
yeah. Like a lot of people don't even understand that even the Democrats here are pretty right, man. Are pretty right. A lot of the Democrats here are
Yeah.
pretty right on the scale, and people don't even understand that shit. Like people are getting mad at Democrats here. Imagine going to
It's
fucking
because mainstream.
yeah. I mean,
Mainstream. Exactly. It's
if people
because
go
mainstream.
like and then dumb shit like, hey man, if you're not happy, just go to fucking Canada. All right. I mean, it'd probably be better, honestly.
Bro, yeah, exactly. I remember when I heard a joke from, I'm not going to say the comedian name, but uh, I heard a joke. It was like about the wall when Trump wanted to build the wall. But he said, by the time they fucking build the wall, we be the ones going over it. I mean, fucking, I mean, if you think about it, it's like I wouldn't mind living in another country, but it's just too much financially to move and get a basis down in another country, in my opinion, for me. But if you just have to like find happiness where you're at, because at the end of the day, like you, nothing's going to change overnight. No matter how many people come out and find the flaws in the system, or people defend the flaws in the system, people, the main part of the public is going to still believe what they've been believing their whole life. And I think that's just how it's going to be in our lifetime, at least right now. Maybe if we older, way older, we might see a real change in how reality is, but I don't see us changing in the future anytime soon, at least. Not of any big changes, not changes that should be made. I
Right.
don't think, like for example, I don't think we're gonna see anybody big generally help the homeless population. I don't see. I think they there's always going to be the mainstream. This NBA player donated this, and this person did this, but we ain't going to this. I don't think there's ever going to be a time where we see no homeless people on the streets in the future. I would like there to be, but thinking rational about it and thinking like what's actually going to happen, I don't see us doing anything to free that. I think it's always going to be a part of reality, and it's
Yeah,
sad to say, but I mean it is what it is. I mean I've been seeing homeless people for fucking 20 years now,
yeah.
so
I think so I learned this from my friend or a you guys know him. He stated that in Sweden, if you marry somebody, you get a free house.
Bro, facts, man. Oh my god. And
Like,
if you get married, you get tax benefits also, man.
well,
Every
yeah, yeah. That's why a lot of people marry young, especially in the military.
oh yeah,
One thing I have about the military recruiters is they prey on young innocent high school kids.
and
Like,
manipulate them.
how
yeah, bro.
how are you going?
Literally, almost happened to
It's
me.
like school doesn't even teach you how to really succeed in life.
No, it
And
teaches you
then
fucking math.
when you're about to when you're about to be in life, they throw the military at you like, I know we didn't teach you shit, but here, let somebody yell at you for 4 years and but hey, you get the money, you get the benefits. But when you
So
get
no
out of the
benefits.
military, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? It's like, okay, I went to school, I went to the military, I got a Corvette, I got these shoes,
I got my
but
GI card.
wait, I have to invest now? Where's my money going?
Where's my
It's
money?
like
Yeah,
you know,
so
it's like they don't really teach you shit. They just teach you what they want, and then they try to push you out as fast as you can. We have a 10-year high school reunion every
yeah,
10 year, and you don't learn anything at the reunion. You just fucking go and talk about what you did for the last 10 years. This is
yeah,
not like a follow-up meeting like, hey, are you guys still learning what we taught you? It's like, no, we actually learned how to survive.
yeah.
Like
The
they don't teach us taxes and shit, everything I have to do, and like as an adult what you have to do, they don't teach you that in school. You have to fucking learn your own way. It's
Right.
like it makes no sense.
If I spent my time in school learning about trading and learning about stocks and learning about fucking uh, the real estate system and all of that, bro. If anybody puts their time into shit like that and put all that time they learn fucking math and algebra and shit like that into those type of things, everybody would be successful. Everybody would have a fuck ton of money. And that's the
I
thing.
agree.
Like people, I feel like people don't realize what they can do with themselves if they truly like understand. Like, because I feel like when someone like hears about stocks, they always the first thing they hear like crypto, they like, oh, like I know I can make money, but I probably have to learn about it. I probably have to do a lot of. It'd probably be a hard
Yeah,
process.
exactly. And I feel like if the schools need to teach that, because like if you like, for example, like if somebody asks you, and this might be a totally bad analogy, forgive me if it is, but like say somebody asks you what generally we learn in school. Like if somebody asks
I'll
you
be right
what
back. I'll be
two
right
plus two is, you don't even have to think about it. 2 plus 2 equals 4. You know that. But because you've been taught to learn that through school, like if somebody gives you a math problem, you go and learn it. Somebody gives you a science problem, you gonna have an understanding about it. But if they don't say mention anything about taxes and sell taxes, and then you get a job after high school, and you starting having to pay your taxes, and then taxes it's time to file, and you don't know what the fuck you're filing. It's like how can they portray us to be learning about the future and learning how to succeed by getting good grades when they're not teaching us anything about life? I mean, like life is working, and when you're working you're paying taxes, and if you don't learn, like what I'd say life is working, it means like in order to be successful, and I mean that by money wise, you have to learn how to pay your taxes, and they don't teach that. You
So
can be successful in other ways and how you manage, you weigh success,
within
but they
your
don't really teach you how to be successful in school.
right, yeah. I mean, even like catering to the different like the different students' learning styles. So, like, if say me
Yeah,
personally, I'm a visual learner. I'll learn more visually. Like,
yeah.
if you show me a different like segment about some theory, I guess I'll learn it a lot better than I would somebody explaining it to me. Like,
And
I
it's
sure,
funny
sure I'll
because
understand. Yeah,
go
but
ahead, go ahead. I was
no,
just going to say it's funny because like they ask you in school, they make you take these tests, say what kind of learner are you? Are you a hands-on learner? Are you? And then you say, well, I'm a hands-on. But then when do they cater to that? You
Bro,
take the
right,
never,
test and you
never.
tell them, but they don't have like, hey, if you selected you are a hands-on learner, come in this classroom. They don't do that. It's like, oh, thank you. We send that to the main district and it's just for our members. It's not about you at all. It's
yeah,
like because I remember saying I'm hands-on learning. That's how I learned. I never got hands-on education after I put that on the test. And it's like they only do it for members. They have to meet their quota. The school is
exactly,
a business. The
ex-
school is a business.
exactly.
Okay.
All they
And
want,
I hate
all
to
they
wrap
want
this
is
up, but it's been an hour. Uh, let's keep our podcast down to an hour. But honestly, Dylan, I won't be surprised if you're back on the podcast sometime
De-
soon. This was a great podcast.
definitely, man. I
Uh,
appreciate you putting me on
we,
here.
I trust me, if we had the following to go longer, and we had the time to go longer, we obviously would. There's a lot more to talk about, but uh, we save it for the next time because I'm sure you'll be back on here pretty soon.
Definitely, man. It's all about the reps. Put them in. Put out the
Yes,
videos.
sir. Yes, sir. More videos. We haven't really planned. Juan, what? Let's tell people a little bit about what we're gonna do. So we did the podcast this weekend to learn. I mean, we did it for Will. We got the videos out. We're going to video out as soon as we can. But what do you know what days we are going to plan to do this yet? Or is it still going with the flow?
bro. We going with the flow, bro.
How many days a week?
Um, shit. It
Let's
might be.
give the people something.
It might be two. It might be seven.
Might be.
Just hey, keep your eyes
Yep.
open. Keep
Okay.
your eyes open.
Hey, follow us on Twitter, Bradley_1. Uh, the JP podcast, all lowercase on Instagram. Links in bio for our YouTube. Dylan, thank you for coming on. I just called Dylan today, uh, a few hours before we did this, and he hopped on. Shout out to him, our first guest, our first time doing video on the podcast. So that's great. Uh, honestly, great podcast. I loved learning. I learned a lot just
Had a,
by Dylan. I have to give it up to you, man. You're so knowledgeable how young you are. You know more shit about politics than I do. And if you want anything to shout out, you want to shout out your Instagram, your Snapchat, go ahead, take the time to do so.
I appreciate it, man. Both my Instagram and my Snapchat, Dylan Malamute, DYLANMALAMUTE. You feel me? Follow me on that. I think it's pretty crazy that you guys might be the first podcast to have actual communists as the
Hey,
as the
yes,
Hey,
first.
sir.
man.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Hey, fifth time in the second podcast, too. Let's see how far we go.
Hey, and I got one thing to say, and I said in the last one, fuck the other JB podcasters. Fuck y'all.
Fuck the other JP. Hey, we
Oh,
saying that every
Yeah.
podcast until they delete their channel.
Oh God.
All right. All right. Fuck the other JP podcast.
All
There's
right.
only two of y'all. Just hop.
Just
We
stop, bro.
didn't browse your channel.
You've
We
been killing the
browsed it. We
game.
didn't like what we seen.
we
It's
dislike.
over for y'all. Y'all
I didn't even
done.
watch a video, but I know
Y'all
y'all some
done.
bitches. All right.
Yeah.
And, it's Jay.
It's B.
And
And
it's
it's a
the
JB
JB
podcast.
podcast.